Hello, I am Cyrus Rajpal, and welcome to the Battle of Le Transloy and Examination. Today, we're going to obviously cover the Battle of Le Transloy.
There's a lot to cover here. An interview with a famed war veteran, who was fighting and where, leaders and the important people in the fight, and the technology and strategies used in battle, ending with what it all meant for the war. But here's a brief overview before we start. For one, this battle was fought on a ridge in France called Le Transloy. The battlefield was muddy and in rainy, freezing conditions and weather. Britain, France, and the Canadian Corps faced off against the German Empire in 1916, from October 1st to the 18th. Douglas Haig led the British Expeditionary Force and commanded all troop movements at the Battle of the Somme, though the day-to-day operations weren't commanded by him. One of the major inventions used was a Livin projector, which was a mortar that dug into the ground in order to compensate for the extreme recoil. And one of the main strategies used were organized sequential attacks, and they effectively gained more ground and inflicted heavy casualties for the German Empire. The battle itself was indecisive, and though the Allies captured the hill, which was the objective, obscene amounts of New Zealander, Canadian, and French forces were decimated for a ridgeline. For now, we hope you enjoy, as I now show you a special interview with famed war veteran George Fortin. Enjoy the show.
Hello. Today I will be interviewing George Fortin, who is a retired corporal from the Canadian Army in the Great War. How are you, George?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me on the show.
Alright, let's get started. So, how did you first end up on the battlefield in the French countryside?
I believe it was 1916 when I volunteered for the Army. Foolishly, I thought the war would be over by Christmas.
So,
Excuse me.
when exactly did you arrive on the battlefield?
I remember I finished up basic training on September 20th, 1916, and it wasn't until later that month, towards the end of the month, that I saw the battlefield for the first time. A horrendous sight.
So, did you see much action on the battlefield?
It wasn't actually until the start of October that I got involved in the Battle of Le Transloy, as they called it. A miserable place to be fighting.
If you don't mind me asking, sorry. If you don't mind me asking, what exactly happened to your arm?
Oh yes, we were ordered to go over the top on October 5th, 1916 at Transloy. And I got shot twice below the elbow. I had to get amputated, unfortunately. But it was my luck because it took me off the battlefield for the rest of that war. Quite luckily, I didn't have to see any more combat.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you're here today. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, my name is Douglas Haig, and I am the leader of the Expeditionary Forces for Great Britain. Now, from my knowledge, from the information I gathered from my other officers, our next offensive will be attacking a ridgeline called Le Transloy in the northern part of France. Now, the key feature of this ridgeline is it's a very strategic point for preparing for the next offensive during the spring of 1917. Now, the great part about this ridgeline is it creates a defensive measure compared to the rest of the flat countryside. So it'll give us ample defense for the upcoming winter months against the Germans if they try to attack. The problem is the Germans have this area heavily fortified because this ridgeline works in either side. Now, the way we will be able to take this ridgeline, we will be using, according to previous battles, we will be using our new Livin projectors to shoot canisters of oil to the enemy trenches to burn them out. We will also be using aerial photography from aeroplanes, and we will be using two Mark IV tanks. What we will be using as for our artillery is a creeping barrage followed by smoke, so that we can hopefully take those German machine gun nests out and allow for our troops to approach the trenches without much retaliation from the Germans. The smoke will keep them in cover so that they will be able to push and take the objective. Now, I do not expect this to be an easy won victory. We already know that the Germans are waiting for us. They've been shelling our position for days now. They know we're coming, but hopefully we'll be able to take this ridge line, because if we do not, it will be a lot harder for us during these winter months, and we could probably face a retaliation from the Germans. They could probably create an offensive and break through to Paris. So this ridgeline is crucial in winning the war and providing a key position for the upcoming months. Alright, we'll cut there, yada yada. I'm just trying to find... I got the pivotal position. I'm talking about technology, innovation, story of the battle. Oh, we could do an aftermath.
Okay.
Alright.
Put him up. Man, we've been in these trenches too long.
I miss home.
Downright. I'm tired of living in this filth.
What are y'all's names?
Just call us Buddy. We're gonna be gone in a few days anyway.
I'm Johnny.
Johnny? Okay, nice to meet you, Johnny. How long you been on the front?
Too long, man.
Just get ready to get out of here.
You're about the guy who had to eat rap?
What the hell? Why's that?
Tastes like chicken.
Congratulations, boys. You've made it up to the rear operating trench. Our next mission, down from headquarters, is to take the Fleurs line. It's heavily defended. They've got guns on the parapet, pillboxes all two, mines, barbed wire, and all of the above. I've just gotten word that our Livens projectors have broken through their lines. The fire shells should have done them up good, the oil shells, that is. I've heard that they're scrambling for their nests. Our New Zealand boys are going to be going on the right to take it, and we're going to be flanking on the left. Be careful for counterattacks. I've gotten word from the Allied planes in the sky to watch out for any hold-up Germans over there. Alright boys, let's move to the forward operating trench. Let's do this.
Sir, let's go.
Alright boys, our Livens projectors have broken through their lines. Our objective is the Fleurs Trench. The Germans have it heavily fortified with pillboxes and mines all over the place. Be careful for that barbed wire. The New Zealander infantry division is going to try and flank them on the left. We're going around right. On my go. Go, go, go! What happened here?
He got his arm blown off.
Poor fella. Where was it?
He was trying to get the Flores Trench.
These damn Germans. He's got burns all over him.
Yeah, they're really severe.
Poor guy. Better rest up.
I would like to thank the British, French, Canadian, and other expeditionary forces for helping us take this ridgeline. Hopefully, we will be able to keep this ridgeline and break through the German lines in the following months and finish the war by the spring of 1917, if not the Christmas of 1917. Thank you.
In conclusion, the Battle of Le Transloy was a decisive battle in an indecisive war. Thousands of men were lost, and while new strategies and new technologies were used, the main thing the battle brought was a body count, and a massive one at that. However, some good did come out of this battle. The battle halted the German offense, and it allowed for the Allies, with Canada included, to break stalemate and potentially end the war by Christmas. While that never came to be, it still mattered significantly to those who fought in the war. Today we can only be thankful for the heroes that gave their lives for this cause. Thank you for watching.
probably just finished our movie and thought, this really helped me learn more about the Battle of Le Transloy and hopefully help me learn more about World War One, or the Great War, as many people call it, in general. Now, we will be going over a few things not regarding our historical aspect of the project, more about technicalities. I guess call this a blooper as you will, since it won't affect our time that we have right now. Anyways, regarding fair use, everything that was used was intended for educational and non private purposes. We're not making any money off of it, I guess you could say. So it would fall under the education side of fair use, regarding the music, the information we cited, any simulations we used, is all falls under the education aspect of fair use. Now, also regarding our other depictions of the battle, this is a very cheap, fictional, recreational depiction of the battles. It is not intended to be realistic footage, so it is also not meant to offend anyone. We just didn't have the money that an actual documentary would probably have. We didn't have any funding, and we didn't have any so accurate battles. Yes, it was limitations on our part, but we hope that you can overlook that and try to look more into the historical aspect and the informational aspect instead of the simplistic what you see on screen. So I hope you enjoyed our depiction or our documentary on the Battle of Le Transloy, and I hope you had a fun time watching it. Thank you.